First off, I thought I'd address the printer going on in the background. I'm sorry, I can't turn that off at the moment. I wish I could. I'm not even too sure if you can hear it, but it is kind of loud. I'm just gonna do the best I can to talk over it. If you can hear it, I feel like it shouldn't be too much of an issue. But basically, I'm going to be doing my video format test 3. Uh, I'm going to do a quick rundown of what's asked to me and answer it to the best of my knowledge and the best of what I know and my research. I've researched all of these, and I've taken my research and I've jotted them down in a Word document to have all my thoughts gathered, and I'll add on to it if I feel like I need to, or if there's anything I forgot that I remember in the moment. So basically what it's asking is to compare jellyfish, a cricket, and a dog in a way that they solve problems related to survival in their environment. And after that, it goes into different survival related things, as in their digestive system, how they digest things, and how they defend and all that. I'm gonna go into first each animal and like basically how they survive, basic things before I go into the specific questions that's asked. From the jellyfish, I found that they spread their tentacles to make it easier to catch food. That's one way they survive in the water. They swim, obviously. And dogs, they intimidate with their teeth. From what I've found, they intimidate with their teeth, and most dogs who, and I've seen a lot of dogs who, I've seen a lot of house dogs show their teeth, but never actually attack. I'm not sure if that's just a thing that they learn, or basically hold back, is that they, in their instinct, they use that as a survival mechanism, or maybe just to get someone who's annoying them away. But they never actually do anything. Most of them, at least. Some will actually bite. A lot of them stare down, and they emit, from what I've read, they emit a low warning growl and even bark aggressively. So that's what we got going on with dogs. And crickets, from what I found, it's really hard for them to defend themselves. They from predators. They're small, for one, can very easily be catched. A lot of their defense mechanisms aren't really physical, but more so like camouflage. They camouflage, and they use that as a way to kind of go about living without but without having every single predator around them knowing where they are. If they're still, then they should be okay. But even then, they can be spotted. Crickets, and from what I have right here, crickets have long hairs at the end of the abdomen. Sorry about that. To detect movement. And so I guess that's when they, if they were to use camouflage, they'd be able to detect movement from far away to know when to have that in play. And so now it's asking about their digestive systems and how they obtain nutrients and energy and all that stuff. So I have here, from what I've found, is that when it comes to crickets, they and I wish I could say I knew exactly what this meant. I couldn't find too much information on it, but from this is what I have. Crickets are constituted by a large foregut, a small midgut, and a large hindgut. And if I'm going to use context clues here, I'm assuming that they're talking about different portions of the stomach, of the gut. But again, I'm not going to sit here and act like I know exactly what that is. But I'm just using context clues. Crickets have a hard exoskeleton, which that contains chitin, is what it looks like. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. I might not be. And it's a type of fiber that's hard to digest, and that's kind of the reason why it's hard for crickets to digest protein. Or not really hard, but whether they're able to digest protein or not, it varies with crickets. So when it comes to dogs, they digest protein differently, obviously from crickets, but from humans too. But from what I found is that dogs, it takes about 8 to 10 hours for dog food to pass through the digestive system. Not dog food specifically, but anything a dog might eat. 8 to 10 hours on average, sometimes 12. But yeah, the dogs take in nutrients differently than we do. For one, they can eat raw chicken. That's something we cannot do. Salmonella and all that, that's a big issue for us. And for a while, it was an issue for dogs too. It wasn't recommended to give dogs raw chicken until recently. It's good. It's a good way for them to get protein. But yeah, they can digest it much, much better than we can. And when it comes to jellyfish, from what I found is that there is no need for a respiratory system for them. Jellyfish do not have a specialized digestive system. And this is everything I found online, so I'm quoting it almost word for word. I'm trying to put my do it myself a little bit, to put my own a stamp on it, I guess. But I mean, yeah, I'm quoting it from online from what I found. They are able to digest with the help of I wish I could pronounce a lot of these. They're kind of hard to pronounce. I've never heard these words before. Gastrodermis, and it's saying that's where their nutrients in their food is absorbed. Food that makes it into the jellyfish's stomach is broken down by digestive enzymes produced by cells lining the inner body cavity. So that's what I have for most of these animals in terms of digestion. And let's see. So after that, it wants me to I'm sorry, I'm trying to find where the question ends and where the next one begins. Respiratory systems and exchange carbon dioxide for oxygen. It means thermogen. Okay, so include challenges these animals might face. Okay, so one thing I feel like the dog might face is it's a very, very, very domesticated animal. Unless we're talking about specific dogs. I mean, dogs are house dogs at least are very closely related to wolves, and wolves they have no problem living out in the wild. But if we're just talking about dogs in general, a lot of dogs are just they're not built for the wild, especially smaller dogs. You leave a smaller dog outside in your backyard for a little bit, a hawk can come down and pick it up. I've seen it before, not firsthand, but I've seen it before online. So dogs being I guess raised in a normal household might be their main issue. When it comes to excuse me, when it comes to jellyfish, they're just very fragile. You can very easily pick them up. They can harm people, sure. And I believe they can give you like a really, really, really bad rash. I'm not sure, but they sting. But the fact of the matter is, they're very, very, very vulnerable to even waves and stuff like that. That they can be washed up on shore. They don't have a bone structure at all. So jellyfish, they have a way to defend themselves, but it's also hard for them to kind of I guess defend themselves on natural stuff when it comes to being washed up on shore, or even just being eaten by something that can overpower it. So that's that. And when it comes to the cricket's very small. Very small. It has an exoskeleton, but then again, how far is that going to go with an animal that small? You can step on it for a human being, at least. A lot of their predators are much bigger than them. So yeah, so that's what the cricket has going against it. So when it comes to their access to heat and their environment, for jellyfish it's real easy. It depends on how low they are in the water or how high they are. The temperature isn't going to change too much. Of course, based on the environment, it might change. But usually, it basic principle of water is hotter at the top, or warmer rather. Water is warmer at the top, much colder at the bottom. They can control it whatever they want. Dogs, it all depends on the time of year for them, unless they're living in a house. And for crickets, same thing, time of year. So that's about everything that I have in this, everything that I've been able to answer here. I'm about to go on 10 minutes of this video, so Thank you for listening to my video format test number 3, and I hope I ever answered everything in the best way that I can and the easiest way to understand. Thank you.